Wah, 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 wah. I'm here, you're here, we're queer, or not. If you're not, then that's okay. I mean, I forgive you. But hello. So I am a little bit late today. I was on the phone with my sister, and I felt that it was very important to. I mean, so sometimes you're like on the phone with somebody, and it's been like months and months since you've caught up, and so it's like you don't want to like cut the conversation too short, and also they're clearly in need of a vent session. So we had a little conversation, and it was good. It's good to reconnect with people. I gotta say, huge fan of having social relationships and connections. I'm gonna be going to Seattle soon to see one of my friends up there. Just being on the phone with my sister, talking to my friends more. I think this is a good way to spend your energy. So if you have an opportunity to spend time with people that you actually care about, I recommend doing it because you never know. You never know when they need something or when you need something that you didn't realize you needed. The blue background looks rad. Thank you. Yes, I normally we're on green, but I decided we're gonna switch it up. You got to switch it up every once in a while, and it's winter time, so blue, blue. Vent sessions can be rough, but so therapeutic. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Hello everyone. We've got Mama Mephistopheles in the website chat, luxander.net/live over here. Drea, hello. Psychoplebalian, what's up? And lots of people in the YouTube chat. Hello to the YouTube chat. There's Mabs, there's Darth Gently, Banana Brains, Dr. Person Man. Hello, hello. Definitely fits the weather outside. It's cold. So it's weird because it's January, but it's not that cold. Like, that's what I moved here for, though. I moved here because I don't like winter. And yet, I'm finding myself like mildly disappointed that it hasn't snowed in the valley. Obviously, if you go outside the valley into the mountains, then there's snow. Like, you can see the mountains and see that there's snow on them. But yeah, that's a little bit different than having it in your yard. After we moved last year, which our anniversary is next week, our anniversary, right? Yeah, well, it's in like 3 days. Oh my gosh, wow! I didn't realize. So on Wednesday is the 1 year anniversary of us arriving in the state of Oregon, which is great. And I think that it after that, so after we had arrived, it did snow a little bit. So we might get some snow. It very rarely snows in the valley, maybe once every other year. Okay. Wow. So I guess last year was a weird one because it like actively snow. Like people in my neighborhood, kids in my neighborhood were like building snowmen and throwing snowballs at each other. So man, yeah, I guess it was just like a weird year. So I'm fully immersed in experiencing my first Pacific Northwest winter where it's just kind of rainy and cloudy all the time. And then which means that you can really appreciate the sunny days a little bit more. You get the sunny days and you're like, yeah, I missed you, son. It's been fucking cloudy for a week and a half consecutively, which that's the weather that I like. You got to have like a mixture of the two, a little mixture of the two. How is everyone today? I feel like I'm functioning a little bit better than I might expect. I didn't get some things done this morning that I was hoping to get done, so we might end up only doing like 2 hours of show today so that I have time between this and producing for the line this afternoon. I need to do like some laundry and exercise and stuff. So yeah, goodness gracious. Seahawks crushed the 49ers yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm not a sports person, but I appreciate that people are sports people. I'm okay with that. I'm allowing it for you to be into sports. Still adjusting to my new job. Yeah, I feel like I'm finally settling into my routine. But then, oh my God, listen, I'm going to complain. And I want you all to know it's good-natured complaining, okay? But so yesterday, there was a stream that we had on the line, and the whole thing was like Josie wanted to use it as an opportunity to fundraise for her campaign because she's running for county council in Montgomery County, Maryland. And, she's trans. We want to elect the dolls, support the trans women. And so she went on with Forrest. And usually when we do a Saturday show, I'm expecting like 3 hours, roughly 3 hours. We talked in the pre-show and we were like, let's do like 4 hours maximum. 6 hours Lite. 6 hours. And guess what, y'all? Tomorrow on Skeppy Talk, it's going to be fucking Forrest and Erica, which means it's going to be an 8-hour stream. Those ones we discussed beforehand. So I know. I'm prepared mentally. I know that we're going to be dealing with that. But it was like a surprise to do 6 hours of show. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to cry. Because I was supposed to hang out with some of my friends and watch a movie. And also I had a book that I really wanted to finish reading. And I was just like, this is torture. So yeah, that's kind of how my Saturday went. I spent the entire morning and early afternoon reading Hank Green's novel. So my partner told me I should watch them, told me that I should read them like last year when he read them. The An Absolutely Remarkable Thing is the first novel, and then it's really more like part 2 of the same one big story. So that was the second book is like a remarkable what is it? A Remarkably Foolish Endeavor. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but yeah. So that's what I spent my entire day doing yesterday. And then after I got done with the show, I was like picking up my book. Like I already had to cancel on my friends, so it's far too late now to watch a movie with everybody on a Saturday night. So I was like, finish my book. And then I finished my book, and then I went to bed angry because of other things that happened. So, yay. I'm in autistic mood right now. Thank you. Yeah. I'm definitely in an autistic mood currently. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying things. But I feel like it's so rejuvenating to first of all, get the fuck off of social media. I genuinely feel like anything else I could be doing would be better than scrolling on the social media. So I spent several days just kind of crashing through those novels. I think I need to read more so that I can read less when I read. Does that make sense? Like, when you get into a really compelling novel and then you spend your entire day just reading a book and you're like, this is probably just as bad for my neck as scrolling, and also I'm just sitting here. So, but like I want to read more often, but like in smaller chunks. That's kind of the goal. Sounds like you need a hug. Maybe. What's really funny is, and I posted this on my Blue Sky earlier. My Blue Sky is like the only it's like the only public facing social media I have where it's like I actually post anything relatively personal. And I realized that different arm configurations on the hug conveys different things. And I mean, even if you're talking about like the person who you like the most in the world, if you go both of your arms over, I guess it depends on how tall the person is. In this situation, assume the person is taller than you, and also you usually like that person. It's like if you go over, I feel like that's the usual kind of like lovey hug. Or if you go under is like, I really needed this. Thank you. I'm feeling vulnerable and small. If you go over under like this is like a, I will hug you, but no, I'm not psyched about it. I said Lux was in autistic mood because of the whole this lasted 2 hours longer than I expected, and that's just wrong. Well, okay, it's like I am used to 3-hour shows, right? Like we do 3-hour shows, and if it's going to go longer than that, it's usually rare, or I get an apology afterwards, or like it's planned for beforehand. Because if I'm like, okay, every single show we do on a Friday or Saturday is like 3 hours, and then no, I agree, Drea. I think over under does convey like a level of emotional distance. So bro hug is appropriate description for that. But like if I'm like, okay, I usually work for 3 hours, then I have shit to do afterwards. So it's like the problem that I'm having is like, I don't fucking want to work on Saturdays. Here's the thing. There's only 3 producers for the line. And so the Friday, Saturday shows are like, it's usually Arden or myself that are taking those. And so neither of us gets a guaranteed weekend every week. we're both like, well, I guess I'll not work on Friday because I need to work on Saturday or some configuration like that. Um, so it was like I didn't really want to work and I agreed to do it because I need the money. And then it was a fucking 6-hour show and I had to cancel my plans to hang out with my friends. So just the work-life balance, you know, still trying to figure out the situation of how to have a good work-life balance. So like this upcoming week, I don't plan to work on Friday at all. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be unavailable because I'm going to see a friend in person. So yeah, it's not very restful. Anyway. I'm 18 and been questioning my gender for a couple years, finding it hard to keep this quiet even though I don't have a job yet. I mean, you know, take it easy. You're only 18. You have plenty of time to explore things. Take small steps, like you know, paint your nails or whatever. You know, take small steps. Little tiny things. And don't stress yourself about needing to do it all at once. So, you know. Is there a chance you do a video with Dean Withers or Parker Get a Job? I don't know who Dean Withers is. I am familiar with Parker Get a Job, but I don't know. I don't personally do collabs. And then when it comes to like bringing on people to the line, there's like a whole process that we go through, and you know, I have to have like the person needs to be vetted. Like Parker Get a Job is liberal, I guess, but is he atheist? Like if you're going to come on the line, we do expect you to be like at least some kind of agnostic atheist, because the whole fucking point of the line is to be coming at things from that perspective. So yeah. Oh, Mama, are you leaving? Bye, Mama. Please huff the hopium. Oh yeah, what did you say earlier? You said something about hopium, and I dropping off some hopium. Yesterday I did a Know Your Rights canvas with my local DSA here in Texas, and holy crap, the normies are pissed. People are way more ready to revolt than I thought. That's great news. That's hopium. Yeah, it does seem like lots of people are getting activated here. And that's, you know, that's good news. I think the more people we have, because the thing is, the more people we have who want to get involved, that means that everybody gets more breaks. Because if you only have 10 people showing up, then every person feels like they need to show up every single time, and that leads to burnout. So the more people we have who are politically active and involved, the more we can like distribute the responsibility a little bit. So yeah. Parker Get a Job as an atheist. Cool. Yeah, so at that point it's just a matter of like, is this person going to respond to our DMs? I feel like I asked this recently and someone said that they had DM'd Parker. But you got to realize like when people have giant platforms, they're not necessarily checking their DMs. So yeah. And like, do I personally want to do a video with Parker Get a Job? I don't know. I don't know him like that. If I was scheduled to do a show with him, because I am like, we schedule the hosts, and sometimes they are people who've never done a show together. Like this month, Pologia and Austin Archer did a show together, and they had never done a show together before because we just scheduled it that way. So yeah, it's a whole process of getting guests, and not to mention, oh my God, sorry, the hiccups. Not to mention like bringing someone on as a full-time host. That's a whole other thing. So anyway, come to the Luxander stream to get inside baseball on how we do things at the line. Anyway, 54 viewers. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't already hit like on the stream, please hit like on the stream. You can always hit share as well. If you want my little tiny channel to grow, I don't have anything specific planned for what we're going to discuss today, but if there's anything in the news that you think I should talk about, you know, we are open to conversation. Conversation here is often heavily influenced by what y'all in the chat are talking about. That's why it's a just chatting stream. Dean Withers is a grifter lib, and the one Jimmy's always complaining about crying over Charlie Kirk saying his kids were there. Oh, okay. I didn't know who that was. Because you have to keep in mind, too, that I don't watch political content in my free time. Girl, I am trying to not lose my fucking mind. So obviously, if H Bomber Guy drops a video once a year, I watch H Bomber Guy videos, but I'm not like I don't watch like Callan Conrad. I don't watch any other political streamers. Just not my thing. It's not my bag, baby. If chat influences the conversation, have you ever had yellow tea? I don't think I've ever had yellow tea. I've had black tea and green tea and oolong tea one time. Randomly joined 5 minutes ago. Sound like I've missed a lot. I mean, we haven't been streaming for very long today because I was late. Normally we start at 1 p.m. Pacific time, but we started a little late today because I was on the phone with my sister. But yeah. I mean, you've missed a lot in terms of like, I'm 30 years old, and so you've missed quite a lot of time in that way. Yellow tea is very rare and super amazing. Nice. Right now I have an herbal tea. I was on the phone when I brewed it, so I actually didn't read the description very comprehensively, but I think this one is an herbal tea with like ginger and peppercorns and stuff, so it's quite interesting. It's a little spicy. It smells really good. It smells like spicy. That's my second cup of tea today. The first cup of tea that I had was just like a regular organic green tea. It's yummy. Oh, by the way, these are still available for purchase at linemerch.com if you want to represent hashtag Team Lux with this cute little design that Arden made with a little dragon tail. Listen, it's fucking adorable, and it's green. OMG. So you should get one. It's like $15. Go buy one. I just want to say I was laughing my ass off at the caller on the line last night when you booted him. I fell out of my chair. Okay, listen. So for the purposes of clips, we really should stop the conversation at like 45 minutes. And I want to be clear too, that guy was so annoying when he first got on that I legitimately removed my earbud and started working on editing my own videos for the first 20 minutes of that call. Cause I was like, I don't want to fucking listen. And then they kept him on for an hour and 20 minutes. And so, yes, I had to take power into my own hands and hang up on him because, like, oh my fucking God. Sometimes they spend too long playing with someone and like 120 minutes, or sorry, not 120 minutes, Jesus. Like 80-minute long call, doesn't play well as a clip. So it's just wasting everybody's time, I guess, except for the fact that we were making money. The whole time people were there. We were getting donations and all that. It's like, oh my God. Jimmy sent me or referenced, and then I looked it up, like Harrison Ford. Someone asked him, do you feel silly ever behind the scenes when you're doing like green screen movie stuff? And he was like, that's what the money's for. And so I just think of that constantly. Like, why am I here? That's what the money's for. Anytime you find yourself questioning, what the fuck am I doing with my time? Yeah, we got to see Forrest in some dresses. Yeah, 3 different dresses. That was a fun little end. And we got to Josie. We got her to the $5,000 goal. I didn't think we were going to get there. And then, we ended up staying a little bit later after the calls, and we did it. We did get to it. Lux, maybe you should implement what Jovan does, $20 to end a call. So the problem is I did that once, and then we got the donations, but then Forrest didn't hang up the call. And at the time, I felt like it would have been intrusive or like inappropriate for me to hang up the call. So it's different for me as the producer if I say, let's take money to end this call. And yeah, there's only been like 2 times that I've hung up on a caller. And last night was one of them, like that I've hung up and not been one of the hosts. Because usually I let the hosts handle, how long do you want this call to go? When are you going to wrap it up? Like, I'm trying to just make the show happen in the background and not take a lot of control over the show. So it's a tricky little dance. Saying Josie doesn't pass was wild, legitimately. You wouldn't know she's trans if she hadn't told you. The only reason you're even saying that is because she told you. I take it that Forrest likes to talk. Listen, we all like to talk, all right? I sit here and I talk by myself for 3 hours. Not even counting the show. And I have to stop myself from interrupting hosts, like the other hosts, when I'm hosting with other people. I'm like, we all are yappers. We yap, 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 yap. And we get callers who are also yap, yap, yappers. Listen, I cannot judge anybody for liking to talk because we all do. I feel like I missed out. I'm so used to Takis, and that seems to barely get any spice anymore. We are working on that. We're gonna just decline to take calls. Like if we only have friendly calls on Takis, we're gonna start doing a thing where we just we shoot the shit for a while and we waste time trying to bait callers and saying inflammatory opinions and stuff because yeah, we are also frustrated by that. The more friendly calls we take on Takis, the fewer spicy calls we get. So yeah, we're starting to implement some more stuff and being a little bit more cutthroat. We've had some decent ones, especially when Ben and I are on. I feel like Ben and I get great vibes in terms of getting some spice because I've got some clips ready, or I need to record intros and outros for them and like clean them up a little. So, but I have like, I want to say at least 4 clips with Ben and myself to edit and upload. So over the next month or two, you'll be seeing some good spice that we got with Ben and myself on Takis. So it's not like there's nothing, but it is tough. And like also, and I'm not, there's no shade or anything, but Josie tends to take things in a direction that is like a little bit calmer or, you know, a little bit gentler of a vibe. And so even when we get oppositional callers, Josie is bringing the temperature down somewhat. That just kind of naturally makes shit less spicy, which is fine. You know, that's her style and I appreciate it, which makes it more impactful when she does get spicy. So no complaints there. There's 86 people in here and only 64 likes. So there's like 20 of you who have not hit the like button. Please do. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it immediately tells YouTube to show this show to more people. Today we're just chatting and talking about whatever. Obviously, I'm on the line, and lots of people here follow me from the line, so whenever we talk about that stuff, you know, I'm assuming that y'all get some value out of it. But if there's anything else you want to talk about, just mention it in the chat, and I'll probably see it. Got to get a billboard in Wyoming. They failed the vibe check. Yes, absolutely. As someone who comes in from Jovan's chat, which I think that it's just the Wild West, does Jovan limit his YouTube chat in any way, shape, or form? But I don't know what I can and can't say in Takis chat. So I think the only hardcore rules we have in the Takis chat are no all caps. So don't post your message in all caps, and don't objectify the hosts, which means like don't comment on the host's physical appearance. We'll just delete those straight up. So I think those are like, me personally, now what I would prefer is, I would prefer if people in the chat, any show on the line really, I would prefer if y'all don't make a lot of personal attacks on the caller, because sometimes the caller is watching the chat and that fucks up the conversation. So that's just a preference thing. There's no rules about that though. What happened in Wyoming? Oh, so Josie Caballero, my co-host on the line, is running for county council in Montgomery County, Maryland. She's running to, if she gets elected, she will represent more people than any other transgender representative in the country, I think. She was saying that she would represent more people than Sarah McBride even. Trans cat dad! Woo! Hello! So she has gotten donations from every state in the union except for Wyoming. So that's the only thing. It's not like a big deal. It's just that, yeah, she wants to be able to put out a press release that says, I'm a trans woman running for office in Maryland at a county level position, and I've been supported with donations from all 50 states in the union. So that's what we're trying to get to. I liked your True Blood video, by the way. Thank you. I have so much fun with those kind of videos. The Musing Moss channel, my second channel, which thank you all so much for watching that stuff. How many subscribers does it have now? We are so close to 40,000 subscribers on this channel. So I'm going to concentrate this week and get some clips uploaded and get some stuff scheduled. Oh my God, tomorrow is going to be such a fucking busy day for me. So we are less than 500 away from getting 40,000 subscribers on this channel, which is so exciting. I've been wanting to reach 40,000 for forever, and it feels like it's picking up some steam right now, so I'm very excited, and I really appreciate everybody's support. On Musing Moss, my second channel, at Musing Moss, we have... Has it gotten over 1,400 yet? No. We're very close to having 1,400 subscribers. And that's where I do like media reviews. I don't think this is actually correct. This is telling me that I got to 5,000 hours of watch time, but I think that that might be counting like videos that I've deleted. Hold on, let me look at this. Anyway, on my second channel, Musing Moss, instead of doing explicitly political content or instead of doing clips from the line, I do media reviews. Like I talk about movies that have trans themes or TV shows that I like, or at some point this year, I'm going to reboot my Which of These Dragons Smash or Pass series. So it's like going to go through a bunch of different dragon videos or like movies, I mean, and saying like it's gonna, the point is to be kind of an analysis of like, does this dragon seem realistic? You know, I'm judging its behavior, I'm remarking on like what kind of tropes does this dragon fit into, and then kind of culminating in like, would I fuck the dragon? It's just for fun. So that's my Musing Moss channel. If you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe to that channel. And I'm trying right now to get the appropriate number of watch time hours, which is, you know, literally how many hours cumulatively people sit there watching the content. I'm trying to get that number up so that I can join the partner program and actually put ads on those videos. Because right now there are ads on them, but YouTube is making all the money and I can't control where the ads are on the videos or anything. So yeah, if you're interested in that, lately I've just been re-uploading videos that I had previously put on this channel, and I just deleted all of them off of this channel and put them on the other channel. So I'm still working through some of those, but I'm also starting to watch new movies. Like this week, I watched White Chicks, which was a lot of fun. And I'm, you know, it just has like cross-dressing in it. So that's within the realm. I will talk about cross-dressing videos because, like, let's see how we can tie this into trans themes. She's the Man with Amanda Bynes definitely had strong trans themes, even though it was a cross-dressing movie. And White Chicks, I feel like is harder to tie in any actual trans themes, but it's also an opportunity to talk about Marlon Wayans and his trans kid. So I honestly thought it was a really good movie. We would watch it again. My partner was like, no, I would watch that movie again, because we sat there and watched it together. Yeah. I don't know. It's like lots of fun. I like to do dumb shit, and that's one of the dumb shit things I like to do. It's like, let's just watch some fucking movies and talk about the themes. And if there's any politics in them, then we'll talk about politics through the lens of media instead of killing myself talking about politics through the lens of politics. I watched Close to You because of your review, by the way. It was good. Thank you. Yeah, Close to You. I think I need to do a little bit more behind the scenes research before I comment on the things. Like, I want to go look up, like, oh, I actually need to remind myself to do this. White Chicks behind the scenes. Because I didn't know that Close to You, which is an Elliot Page movie, and it's about a trans man going home for Christmas, and like the tension and the conflict around going home for Christmas as a trans person, and, you know, rekindling old relationships, that kind of stuff. And the whole movie was, the script was like improvised. They had beats like, okay, we're going to talk about this in the scene, this character is going to start a problem, but the whole script was like ad-libbed, which is fascinating, and also could explain any issues if people have issues with the writing. It's like, well, it wasn't really written, it was outlined, and then they just kind of let the actors carry it through. So that's fun. Trinket says, I did straight up go watch True Blood again because I have been sick, and your video made me think, yeah, garbage TV. That's what I need. See? Sometimes you just need to watch dumb shit. Yes. Remind me again what happened to the Hunger Games video. That one is in the queue to be re-uploaded on Musing Moss, but honestly, it's like not a great video, and some people took issue with like it kind of feels like I was just regurgitating other people's criticisms or other people's commentary. So I kind of was thinking like, well, I don't really need to upload this. Do the people demand it? Do I need to re-upload that? Because I could just put that up this week as like the video that I need to upload on Tuesday. So thanks for your feedback. Excuse me. Thank you, Jennifer. I am non-binary and not a trans woman, but I love trans women and I love having you in my community. So thank you for being here. Kiss of the Spider Woman. What in the world is that about? Kiss of the Spider Woman. I do have like a massive long list of videos and stuff. God, I keep saying videos. Technically they are videos, but have a huge long list of movies and TV shows that you all have recommended I watch. So anytime you guys recommend stuff, I check if it's on my list and then I put it on my list if it's not on there. Because eventually I'm going to run out of content. So let's try to build up as much of a list as we can. Kiss of the Spider Woman. Based on the 1992 stage musical. American musical drama film written and directed by Bill Condon. It came out in 2025, so it came out last year. Musical/thriller with Jennifer Lopez and Diego Luna. Okay, listen, you got me. You got me. I am now a person who will watch movies because of who's in them. And I fucking love Diego Luna. He was Andor in Star Wars Andor. And listen, he's really cool. I like him. I mean, he's just a dumb person. Like, I mean, I don't mean that to be rude. Like, sometimes actors are just like, I'm just a guy who's here. And it seems like Diego Luna, much like Pedro Pascal, is just like a guy who's here to do a thing. And he's like an incredible actor and just a sweet guy. And I appreciate him a lot. Maybe calling him dumb was the wrong move, but he's just a goober. Like, you watch interviews and you're like, that guy's just a goober. Diego Luna is smashable. I could agree with that. I like the accent. I appreciate many things about him. Himbo. See, there we go. That's the vibe. Do you like disaster movies? They're fine, I guess, but for the purposes of like, am I gonna watch it for my show? Like I don't really need to watch disaster movies. I do think they can be fun or funny. San Andreas was a very amusing disaster movie. Didn't feel like super real. But then you've got things like The Day After Tomorrow, and that one is like a disaster movie that does kind of make you feel bad because it's about climate change. So I'm a huge Hunger Games fan, so I'd love to see it upload. Okay, you know what? That makes it easy for me. It's a shitty low effort clip from a stream. I'll just upload it this week so that I have something going up this week. So there we go. Did you enjoy Everything Everywhere All at Once? I haven't watched it yet. I've heard that it's amazing though, and I'm trying to be better about watching things that everybody says are amazing because, I mean, like, it took me for fucking ever to watch The Last of Us, and it's like my favorite TV show now. So I'm trying to do better about this. It's just like, Sinners is on my list of just, I want to watch it for my own personal enjoyment. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't know anything about it except that it's critically acclaimed. So, but I struggle with it because I don't love a story that centers the perspective of a homophobic parent. Like, not being a bigot is a low bar, right? It does not warrant a hero's journey. Okay, maybe that's worth putting on the list for the TV show, or for the, fuck. God. Reading and talking at the same time is so difficult. For the purposes of my channel, I could put Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sometimes also I just watch something because I want to watch it, and then it turns out I have opinions, and so then I go record a video. So sometimes that happens. Oh my god, my hair is sticking to my microphone. It's killing me. Let me pull up my document. Let's see. What is Kiss of the Spider Woman? Is this queer? Is this queer stuff? I know Diego Luna is in it, but like, Does this have anything to do with the things that I want to talk about? Queer themes, political themes, trans shit. I made my brother watch I Saw the TV Glow, praised it for more than a year since I saw it at a film fest, but didn't trust he'd get around to it, and was shocked at how much it spoke to me as a cishet guy. Hell yeah. That's another one. I did watch that, and it's on my... I need to... Because I originally uploaded that video on this channel before I decided to move all the media stuff to the other channel. So I do have... Let me just tell you what's remaining. So obviously, I just watched White Chicks because I want to like do a movie review about it. But as far as videos that I've already made and just need to upload, the dragon intro video, which I don't know if I'm going to upload that one. Maybe I will. Fuck it. Instead of just redoing it, because I put a lot of effort into that video. So the dragon intro of like the Smasher Pass series, the I Saw the TV Glow review, and then the Hunger Games video. So those will probably be coming out over the next few weeks. Or maybe I might work in the White Chicks one into the middle of all that. Yeah, so, man, that's some perspective. I only have like 3 more weeks to start building up content for ongoing. I don't want to be in that situation where I'm making content the same week that it's uploaded. But boy, am I fucking not on it right now. But I get a lot of satisfaction from work, so I'm trying to do it more. Does Day After Tomorrow really make you feel bad? I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a literal child, but I mean, I just, in the sense of sometimes disaster movies can feel ridiculous, and other times the situations are just like resonant to real life in a way that kind of makes you feel bad. And I feel like movies about climate change explicitly are just more along the lines of, oh, this is reminding me of a real world problem that we're still not going to solve. Okay, bringing up my channel movies list. What is this? No, this is channel movies notes. Oh my god. The list. Where's the list? A video ideas / movie list. There it is. Fuck. Kiss of the Spider Woman is queer. Okay, Kiss. Okay, it's on my list. Well, the 1985 version is on my list. There is also a 2025 version, so maybe I'll watch both and kind of roll that into one video. Or should I do them separately? Do you think they're going to be different enough to do them separately? I don't know. Okay, is Everything Everywhere All at Once on my list? Nope, it's not. Everything Everywhere All at Once is not, but it does have something to do with homophobia. So it's on the list now. Thank you, everybody, for helping me figure out what to talk about on my other channel. I do feel a little bit bad, and I kind of want to discuss this with you all, because you all are here on Luxander Moss to hear me talk about politics stuff, and some of you might even be my Patreon supporters. And right now, the only plans I have for this channel, as far as updating and uploading, I really only currently have plans to basically edit and upload clips from calls on the line. Many of you didn't subscribe for that, but I don't feel like I have a lot of commentary to make, and I don't want to... I've always been of the mind that I don't want to... I don't want to say things for the sake of saying things, or I don't want to make myself come up with some kind of copy pasta. I don't know. Often I will wait to comment on an issue until I feel like I really have something original to contribute, right? I don't want to just regurgitate what I've seen other people say. I don't want to just hop on a bandwagon for the sake of hopping on a bandwagon, which this is bad for business, to be clear. It would be much better for my business if I was just every single thing that happens, I'm uploading a video the same day that it happens. I'm immediately knee-jerk response. But often the kinds of thoughts and commentary that I have are after I've seen the initial event and then how people respond and like how it plays out. And then I'll post like a video after the main issue has died down because then I have something to say. It took me a while to say anything about Charlie Kirk's assassination because I didn't feel like I had anything to say. And then it reminded me of like, oh, okay, so now these right wingers are starting to feel like they are unsafe going to college campuses. Like, okay, well, I have felt unsafe with that premise for a long time because I have seen feminists get death threats and bomb threats and have to cancel events and have the police not do anything when they report that they're receiving death threats. Like Rebecca Watson, Anita Sarkeesian, I've been watching that happen for like 10, 15 years. So I have felt unsafe with making public appearances and telling people, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm doing a meet and greet. You will notice that I have never attempted to do a meet and greet. And it was like, I think the most recent time I said, hey, I'm going to be at this event at these times was in 2017 or maybe 2016. Like the last time I went to Convergence in Minneapolis. I don't do those things now because I don't want someone to try to harm me physically or accost me or harass me or bother my family members or anything. So, yeah, anyway, that kind of got off track, but I guess I'm kind of wondering if people are feeling like screwed. Are you feeling screwed if you support my channel and you said you'd be at a location last year? I think that I was really non-specific about which weekend I was going to be at that Renaissance Festival. Like, I think I may have said afterward, like, oh, I went this past weekend, but I was being deliberately obscure about like which weekend I was planning. So yeah. Anyway, do people feel like they're getting screwed out of what they came here for if I don't have very much commentary right now, and if I just start primarily uploading clips from the line? Obviously, there's lots of recent fans of mine who follow me from the line, and they're totally cool with just seeing like clips from the line. But what about a convention with its own security or something like that? I mean, sure, yeah, but like obviously there's other things that come into play. Then I'm like, do I want to expose myself to COVID by being at this event or anything? Like, I don't know. I just don't know if I should be doing something else. My plan right now is let's go ahead and just do clips from the line because that's going to be consistent. I'm going to be making more content on the regular every time I'm on the line as a host. And sometimes I might clip it short and have like a commentary track, but also I'm like just straight up uploading the clips. So I'm just here because Lux is cool and these streams are chill. The streams are chill. That's what we're here for as far as chill times go. And I want to make sure that my patrons are feeling like they're getting value. So I'm posting like personal things over there and little text posts and things so that even if, you know, I'm not primarily doing the thing that you originally subscribed on Patreon for, at least you're still getting some of the personal value of private stuff over there. I don't know. Shouldn't most Ren fairs just assume they're all targets now and up security? Is there an issue with Ren fairs? Like, I mean, definitely, like, our bags were checked, but I could have concealed something, right? Like, or did they do metal detectors? I can't actually remember. The chill vibes are my favorite aspect. Well, I don't plan on stopping doing that. But I was just not sure if people who support me on Patreon are like, yeah, my financial support on Patreon is to support the Chill Vibes streams twice a week. But is that Elex? Ilex? Yes, I do read those. Glad that you've been here. I'm okay with lurkers. Lurkers are fine. Love the fake vines on your wall. Yeah, I actually have a lot more up there that are off camera, and I need to go up there and adjust it so that more stuff is cascading down. But they're around my entire office, and it's like soundproofing, but also It makes me feel quite nice. It makes me feel good to have fake plants and real plants. I just got a new plant. I posted about it on social media. Got a new snake plant. So we're here for chill vibes. I came for the chaos gremlin vibes. I just become a monster. Does anybody remember Unis Honest? I'm wearing my Unis Honest Camp Unis Honest shirt today. Just cute. Cute little thing. Little known fact, those vines are actually real. I mean, they're definitely substantial. They're of substance. They're not CGI. But they are also plastic. If you have a cat who likes to chew on plastic, they will try to eat these leaves, I learned. We're going to get a new cat, like, next month. I need to talk to my partner about... He was like, I want to request time off so that I can be here to hang out with the cat the first few days that it's here. So we're supposed to get a new cat next month, and I need to double check with him what day we're going to go do that. So it might be a little Valentine's Day thing, or it might be the week after. I really want a new cat because I'm so sad and lonely all the time. God, people are assholes in my comments section sometime. I keep meaning to crochet more vines to decorate my walls. I have done some crochet vines before. It's gratifying. Is there anything going on in the world that we really should pressingly talk about? Like, what's going on in the world? I feel, are we in a lull, or is it basically just the same as last week? It kind of feels like maybe it's just the same as last week. We're still doing bullshit with Greenland. They're ramping up things in Minneapolis. Fucking Venezuela. Like, okay, I don't know that there's anything really new going on. Which means I don't have any new commentary to make. Too much stuff. Exactly. Yeah. Like, called my sister earlier, and the first 15 minutes of our conversation were like, yeah, the world is crazy. And then I was like, okay, but personally, how are you doing? Like, we can't control anything out in the world. Like, what are you, how are your kids? You know, tell me what's going on with your life, actually. Same as last week, same shit. Yeah. This is what I mean. I don't have much commentary outside the initial reaction, or there's nothing, excuse me, oh my God, there's nothing new to talk about, so I need lo-fi beats to put on in the backgrounds of this stream. Crochet vines sound cool. The world is just insane, but mostly the same insane. Yeah. What's everybody doing to try to kill your social media habit? I was explaining to my friend this week, I was like, I'm having trouble being on social media all the time. And she was like, well, it's kind of for your job, right? And I was like, yeah, but that's not really it. You know, I feel like I scroll every day in a compulsive fashion. And still, sometimes Jimmy will be like, have you heard of such and such? And I'm like, no, I have no, like, I don't know what's going on with such and such. So I'm scrolling all the time, but not in a way that's conducive to me actually knowing what's happening with politics. And then, like, so I'm just like reading posts about people's bad dating experiences and shit like that. And I'm trying really hard to get away from it. But also I need to be on social media for my job. So, struggle. Have you watched Breakfast on Pluto for your trans series? Let me check. It's not on my list and I haven't watched it, so I'll put it on the recommendations. Whoop. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Boop, boop. Breakfast. What did you say? Breakfast on Pluto. Okay. There's a person running for Congress in New Hampshire who doesn't use any social media and is asking all candidates to not use social media for all of February. Is that a good idea? Are they saying like you can continue to let one of your interns be on social media? Because unfortunately, this is like the main way to get your message out to a younger audience. So like, are you kneecapping yourself and also kneecapping all other candidates if they agree to not be on social media? Like this is the primary way people consume news now, right? I wish The Owl House was a movie because it is a fabulous queer animated series. I don't know if maybe you missed this, but like I watched all of True Blood because I wanted to, but also I made a video about it. So TV shows are on the table. What is Owl House? Is it queer stuff? Is it trans stuff? I don't have a social media habit to kill. I've always maintained that it would be the end of society, even all the way back to MySpace. You're probably not wrong. Like, basically, what I would like to do is only be on social media during explicit times where I'm posting. Like, I need a posting strategy. I need to come up with, like, Instagram posts. Like, what should I be posting on a regular basis? Because I can get money from Instagram. And obviously, posting on YouTube and shit like that. And then, like, maybe a small window of time each day where I specifically go to some news podcast or something. So, but I don't know. Whenever I need a pick-me-up, I look at the solar predicted versus installed graph. Wait, has there actually been more solar installed than we predicted there would be by this time? Because that's good news. I also saw that like 2 species that were endangered are now no longer considered endangered. Like I think one of them was a species of sea turtle. That's good news. That's like good news that'll get a tear in your eye. The real issue is not social media, but the real hole in the real world that it fills. Yeah, do you mean in terms of like lacking social connection? Because I'm trying much harder than usual on that problem. Like, because I don't have a cat now to hang out with, I'm like, I need to watch movies with my friends and I need to have dumbass conversations that don't matter and like hang out with people and get out of my fucking office and go hang out outside my house. I think I've already talked to you guys. Like, I want to start going to a fiber arts group, try to make some friends who are maybe politically aligned with me and also crochet. And I would like to, I mean, I'm not like super gung ho about the idea of volunteering, but it's an opportunity to like be there for people. And so I want to volunteer at like a queer LGBTQ organization. Those are the kinds of things that I want to do with my time. I want to feel like I can do things, and the more time you spend like looking at problems that you cannot possibly solve, I think the worse you feel. Yeah, ground news is one that I have had people recommend to me, and yeah, I think when I compartmentalize this to I'm only getting on here for work specifically, not to kill time, not to entertain myself while I'm sitting on the toilet, like none of that shit. Ground news is super high on my list of things. Owl House is a show about a demon dimension with a wholesome mother and lesbian and bi characters. Okay, well, it's worth at least checking out, even if I don't decide to watch all 3 seasons of it. It could be just amusing. So let me check. Is that on my list already? Owl House. No, it's not. I will put it on the list. The list is very long. Someone asked me if I have a public list somewhere. I don't. I could, I guess, of like, here's all the movies anybody has ever recommended to me. We only really talk about it during streams, and then I pull up my document and I go, did anybody say to this one yet? No? No? Okay, great. I finally went to my queer org again today after I've been depression rotting in my house for the last year. Honestly, Oliver, I feel you. I have been so depressed this past year. I've had so much conflict in my home. I feel so underappreciated. And I've only started to kind of feel better because I'm concentrating so much on work, and I get a lot of value out of work. Everybody at my job seems to like me. I mean, you guys obviously like me. And then with my production job at the line, everything seems to be going smoothly. There were a couple of bumps in the road at the beginning, but everything's smooth now, and I know what I'm supposed to do, and everything goes off without a hitch, like most of the time. Or if it doesn't go off without a hitch, it's not my fucking fault. So, I get a lot of positive feedback from work. Now, I understand that that's also maladaptive in a way, because then you're diving into productivity, and if you start to slip in your productivity, then you'll feel worse about yourself. And certainly when I have more interpersonal conflict in my life, my ability to work suffers. So that's a precarious little thing to be on. But yeah, just all you can fucking do is keep doing it, right? That's really all you got. Definitely feel the doom scrolling too much with certain apps. Yeah, it's tough. It's a difficult life to live. It's legitimately addictive. I think it's literally and legitimately addictive. And when you stop doing it, you go, oh no, I feel bad. Just a constant battle against the horrors. And literally, I'm sitting here scrolling Blue Sky just to have something to do while I'm talking. I just uninstalled Reddit again. Yeah, I uninstalled Reddit. There's no reason for me to have Reddit. It's not for work purposes. It's not even entertaining. It's just a soul-sucking bullshit. So, yeah. Oh my god. You're so right. We should talk about this. Let me pull this up really fast. So, we talked the day of the shooting, or the time we streamed, the day after the day that Renee Good was killed. We talked about that allegedly, and I think that I did not do enough due diligence on this, so I want to apologize for contributing to any fear or anything around that time. So I apologize that I didn't do my due diligence in confirming this. It was a scary thing to hear, and I trusted the person who claimed it. Okay, so there was a trans woman on Instagram who was claiming that she had received a letter from the FBI telling her to basically delete her Instagram and stop making queer content and trans content. I should have, again, been a little bit more skeptical about it, and that's definitely a failing of mine. And then I saw other people talking about it, but they were all referring back to that one person. After we talked about it on stream, I did start to feel like, ooh, she didn't even post you could have just posted a picture of the top of the letter with the FBI seal or the header or whatever on the page, and I don't need to see your information in there, but a redacted form of it, just something. And so I started to feel like, well, maybe she talked to her lawyer and maybe she's not supposed to post it, or maybe it would be a crime to post it or something. I don't know. So I was kind of like, okay, let me give this a little benefit of the doubt. But I followed her on Instagram and Blue Sky, and I got into her group. On Instagram you can have this tells you how much I don't use this platform. I don't know if this is a new feature or if it's been around for a while, but if you have a big account, you can have a direct message thing where you can post in there, and then people can post little reaction to the messages, but they can't type in there themselves. So it's a private group chat for everybody who wants to see anything that you're not posting publicly, but you're just posting it. I mean, you can subscribe to it as a follower, so it's not like private, but it's, as opposed to posting a big public thing on Instagram with a picture or a video, okay? So I followed that, subscribed to that direct message thing, and there was an article that came out about her saying that it seems like this was a false claim. And like my friend Gayfesh sent me this article and I started looking at it, and then Tara, the trans woman at issue here, posted in her Instagram DM thing that she was going to release. She was in the process of redacting the image so that she could post it. Now, I do not think she has posted it. I don't think she posted it on Instagram. I don't think she's posted it in that little announcements DM that she has. So she said that she was trying to post a version of it, and I don't follow her Substack, so if she posted it on Substack, I don't know. So as far as I know, she said, oh, I'm working on posting it, and then she didn't post it. And so all we have to go off of is this article. So let's pull this up from The Needle, this website, The Needle News. Rumors of FBI letters threatening trans public figures center on an AI-generated document. So what these people are alleging, the two article writers here, Jane and Artemis, are alleging that they reached out to Tara and they were going to write an article that said that we haven't seen a proof of this, right? So let's see. No credible evidence has been made public in a widespread way at time of writing. Of course, if you know anything about the FBI, it's not unusual. It's not unusual for them to send threatening letters to activists and others with a public profile, such as with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Also, I'm pretty sure that after the announcement, after Tara started posting that she was receiving these letters, I think she doubled her following on Instagram. I think she might have had like 20,000 followers when I followed her, and now she has 40,000 followers on Instagram. And she also posts on Substack, Blue Sky, and TikTok. So, okay, after one of our authors told Tara that we were preparing to run a story which stated there was no evidence of these letters and asked Tara Knight to comment, she offered to send a copy which was blurred for her safety and which had any identifying information removed. The Needle agreed to fully redact any non-public identifying information within anything we received before publishing it. So this is what they claim they received. They claim that this is what they received. Now, I don't know if you can see it very well, and I don't even know if zooming in on it is going to help me. Let me see if I can. No, this thing itself is not going to get any bigger. So I apologize that it can't, here. I'll post a link in the chats, both of the chats, if you guys want to read this. So this is allegedly what Tara provided. This is allegedly what Tara provided to the Needle when they were going to say, hey, there's no proof. We haven't seen any proof of this letter. It's fucking AI. Like, I don't know if you can see it on screen. Again, it's all crunchy, but they zoom in on some parts of it so that you can see it better. Okay, so first of all, this is the seal on the letterhead at the top. Like, this is the alleged FBI seal at the top of the letter. It has the wrong number of stars. The text wraps all the way around instead of there being a break in the text that separates the words Department of Justice from the words Federal Bureau of Investigation. Like, this is just incorrect. There was a video from Saber, another trans creator who claimed to have seen the letter, but that video has now been removed. Yeah, a bunch of other trans creators jumped on this and were spreading the word, because obviously if this was happening, that would be scary as fuck. Oh, there's a zoom at the bottom of this thing. Oh, okay, cool. Great. This is as big as I can make it. So it does have like screenshots further down that are closer up. This is like probably as big as it gets. The opening paragraph does not have a single legible word. Nope, just made it smaller. Completely illegible. Like none of that is words. That's AI. The most legible line in the whole thing merges the B in the word alibi with and the different case B in bundle to make the combined word that might read alibundle, like this right here, alibundle of six, SYYX, instead of sticks, STYX, which is her username. So it seems like this is just AI, like someone generated an image of a letter, co-formation of compliant instead of compliance. Like, this is illegible. And here are other examples of extracted text. They used a tool to try to extract some of this text, and like it's just fucking gibberish. So, and this below screenshot is of a legitimate letter from the FBI, albeit not from FBI headquarters, but rather their Criminal Justice Information Services division. So this is what a letter from the U.S. Department of Justice actually looks like. Here's a full example of that legitimate letter from the FBI, heavily redacted, obviously. So this is what one of those letters would actually look like. This article says the evidence provided is therefore low quality and illegitimate, which makes it even harder to verify the exact nature of the specific alleged threat that the FBI has supposedly sent to various trans creators. However, if the photo provided is a genuine capture of these, quote, FBI letters, then what can be gathered is that the FBI letters themselves are illegitimate. So how could someone pass this off thinking this looks like a real letter? Yeah, okay, so I have some pretty strong comments to make about this. Now, it could be the case that someone faked this and sent it to Tara. Like, maybe someone found her address and scared her by finding her address and sending this to her. In which case, she is so stupid as to think that this is a legitimate FBI letter. Or she made the false claim so that she could clout chase. And like, let me be clear, I think the rest of what she talks about is also garbage. I've been trying to reserve judgment, but it seems like the majority of what she does is shit stirring among the trans community. Like, whenever I see trans women bitching about trans men all the time, when there are like real problems in the world, I lose a huge amount of respect for them, because you don't have real problems if you can't stop fucking talking about trans men and how awful they are. Like, and maybe it's because I interact with so many more trans women than trans men, but I don't ever see the behaviors that people are talking about. Oh, all these trans men are so terrible. They're talking over trans women. They're abusive toward trans women. I don't know. And like, maybe you do have real problems like with this happening in the community, but like, if that's one of the main things you talk about, I lose a massive amount of respect for you, because holy fucking shit, get some real problems and maybe just stop interacting with those toxic people. Just block them and move on and talk about real shit that actually matters. Whatever. So yeah, if you're spending a huge amount of your time talking about those things, I just think that you're kind of clout chasing anyway, like just generating nonsense, rage bait for the purposes of making money. And then you say loosely, without any proof, without any specificity, OMG, the FBI sent me a letter. They're telling me I need to stop, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing it. And then you double your amount of Instagram followers practically overnight. You don't provide any proof, not even redacted proof. You don't have a detailed video saying, I talked to my lawyer and my lawyer said to do this, that, and the other. Did you think that we were dumb enough to think that this was the real thing? Like, either you got sent this letter and you literally can't fucking read, and neither can your partner or anyone else around you. So you thought that this was a real cease and desist letter? Or do you think that everyone around you is so stupid that they would think that this is real? Now, also, I want to leave open this possibility. I have no idea who the fuck the Needle News is. This is clearly like the Needle. Like, look at the top here. This is about trans stuff. This is a trans news organization. So it's a small scale operation. I don't know who Jane Migliara Brigham is or who Artemis T. Douglas is. I don't know who those people are. This entire thing could be them fabricating. But if you are Terra Knight and you do have proof of this letter, are you saying that, like, okay, so what you could do to get ahead of this, if the people on the Needle are falsely accusing you of sending them a fake AI letter, why are you not providing the proof? Now, like this, like all the way down here, over here. Hold on, let me scroll back down. This amount of proof from Terra, I would accept. I would be like, okay, that's proof. As far as I'm like, you can fully fucking redact it, but just proof that you got a letter from the FBI. But like, again, this is redacted to shit. I would accept this as proof. Even without seeing, I mean, you know, obviously you could just fucking download a letter and redact it yourself, I guess. But like, I would be willing to accept that this is a level of proof for this. Okay. So if this is a false claim by the Needle, then Terra is doing herself a disservice by not releasing a redacted form of the letter publicly. But they claim, these authors on the Needle claim that this fake AI shit is what Terra sent them. And they claim that she sent it in a way that was like kind of similar to Snapchat, where you load in and you see it once and then you can't see it again. And they only happened to be able to catch a screenshot of it. So it's like you sent it in a really sketchy way, allegedly. So I just don't really feel very good about the situation. I literally saw someone on Tumblr talking about this, saying, see, this is why you can't trust trans men, because they're calling Terra Knight a liar. Please make a segment of this part of the stream. I've been thinking about how I could talk about this. I definitely have thought about putting it on Instagram, because Instagram is where this conversation is occurring. I would need to really tightly script that. I don't want to like rag on some trans woman who's just trying to make her shit happen. Like, again, I don't know if this article from the Needle is itself truthful. So now I'm in a like she said situation, and I don't want to accuse someone of lying, but I've been suspicious like basically the entire time that this could have been a fabrication. And the fact that she doesn't have any proof, the fact that she said literally several days ago, I have a screenshot. I took a screenshot and I'm still in this DM thing. So let's look. Several days ago. Okay. Oh my God. Holy fucking shit, dude. She posted several days ago. I don't know why. Can you not check when messages are from? Friday at 7 o'clock my time. I have no idea what time zone she's in. Friday at 7 o'clock my time, she posted, she said in the DM thing on Instagram, I'm posting the FBI letter. Next message, I'm currently getting it on my phone and blurring my dead name and such. Any consequences that falls upon me for posting this will be on the hands of all you who pushed me to this. And then she posts a screenshot of her quoting Alejandra Caraballo from Blue Sky. Alejandra Caraballo picked this story up and says that this, this Needle article states that this is a forgery, and forging a letter from the FBI is a federal crime. If Terra did that, she could actually be targeted by the FBI and get charged. Terra quoted that saying, so why would I purposely put a target on my back? Then she scrolls, the next message from Friday says, so by checking with an AI expert, I found the letter is AI, but that wouldn't explain my dead name and address. But considering my recent Kiwi Farms thread and 4chan threads about me and my GF, and my friend, that would make a bit of sense. Of course, it being AI doesn't explain who sent it, and the current administration isn't above using AI, which is noted in multiple articles. So she still hasn't posted any proof anywhere, as far as I can tell. It's like, if this letter on the Needle is the letter, then again, you were dumb enough to believe that this was real letter when it's clearly fucking AI and it's literally illegible. She then starts going into, I would also like to point out the racialized vitriol I'm receiving over this while being completely transparent to the best of my ability. I'm trying my best. This is part of the reason not to come down on her because she's a black trans woman. And like, I don't want to make her life worse. If this is a grift, it's a grift because she's broke, right? Like that's what's happening. Someone accused Tara of being visibly high in an interview, and Tara claims that she just hadn't slept in 48 hours. I feel like that's an irrelevant, cheap shot to take. So she's talking about being racialized. She says, I want to add just this last thing, then I'm going to go to bed. I'm not experienced in what the FBI does and how it behaves. I've engaged with the normal amount of fear a young girl would have upon receiving a close enough to authentic looking envelope. Perhaps some empathy is in order. I'll be taking a break from something because I'm exhausted from the past week. I don't know what BOS is supposed to be. I think framing yourself as a young girl is extremely disingenuous in this situation. She's like, it would be some white woman who lives in a mass suburb doing Reagan-era marijuana-level racism again. Okay, whatever. I don't know what... She posted a screenshot in here about how some text that she uploaded to an AI detector detected 0% AI. I don't know what the fuck that's about. She starts posting people who are saying that you don't need to take the needle seriously because of, you know, them being a white transsexual nationalist with such peers as Brianna Uwu and Blair White. But she's a journalist, so we have to take her very seriously for journalism reasons. Then she says, my final words on the subject here, just be careful who you trust. Someone else might get accused of being lazy or sloppy. This is a quote from someone's Blue Sky that she posted in this chat. Someone else might get accused of being lazy or sloppy. Tara gets accused of being a scammer, called evil, blamed for supposedly exaggerating or worsening transphobia, and that's egregiously prejudiced. Well, I have no proof that you didn't lie. It feels like you are just lying during a time when a lot of people in your community are sensitive and vulnerable and scared. So... I mean, I wouldn't call you evil. I would say it's a grift or a scam potentially. If this, because again, you've not posted any proof. And then we're back to, okay, blah, 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 bullshit, selfies. I've been informed all of the trans people of color at the Needle have quit. The Needle had 2 trans people of color working for them and both quit yesterday. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I think you're right, and someone falsified this letter to scare her. Really strange situation. I just, like, post the fucking letter, man. Like, post it. Again, if this right here is what you actually were sent, I am frightened for you. You need to start wearing a mask on public transit because the COVID is fucking your brain is melting out your ears if you saw this and thought that it was a real letter from the FBI. Yeah, I agree. It's a really strange situation. There's evidence that Tara did lie, not a lot of evidence, but still. I mean, yeah. I'm just feeling increasingly frustrated that if this is real, I need to know that it's happening. We all need to fucking know if this is really happening. And it feels like you've just taken advantage of a vulnerable group of people to, like, that's what it seems like. It seems like you've taken advantage of the fact that we're all scared and we all know that the FBI has started saying that gender radical blah, blah, blah is terrorism. If that's actually happening, we all need to fucking know. You need to post a redacted version of the letter. Or you need to, if you have an official correspondence with your lawyer or something, like post a screenshot of that so that we can all know that it's really happening. If it's not really happening, this is the kind of bullshit you would imagine is going to occur. Actually, let me double check her, because has she posted anything publicly on Instagram since all this shit has been going on? Come on, phone. Work for me, please. I keep like checking. I'm like, oh, you said you were gonna post the letter. You said you were in the process of redacting it on your phone right now, and that was 2 days ago. On Friday, she was like, I'm posting it. I'm redacting it on my phone. My fucking Instagram doesn't want to load for whatever reason. I don't know if her account got blocked or is this just my Instagram not loading? No, my Instagram is loading, so there's something going on with her account now? Like, why is your account not loading for me? There it is. She's posted stuff claiming that Tumblr is removing her content on Tumblr. She posted a video from someone else about... Okay, here. Okay, so she's posted on Instagram. Maybe I can pull this up on... I didn't want to post the DM thing directly on screen because I just think that would be impolite, but I don't know. If this is true, why would they start with someone who doesn't have that much reach? That's another great question. If someone only has 20,000 Instagram followers, which is, I think that's what I saw her number at when I subscribed to her or when I followed her on Instagram. Yeah, well, partially it's like, I think she is Canadian, so she's in and out of the US. So it's like maybe because of her being not from here. Like, I don't know. I could imagine there being reasons why, but it is a little weird and sussy-wussy. So let's go here. Nope, I don't actually want to look at your fucking shit. Hold on, let's go here. Okay. So she's posting screenshots from someone else's video. This Rose woman I did see made a video about this whole situation on her account. So here we go. The FBI would start with motherfucking ContraPoints. Let's be real. Yeah. She is... I don't know. She's kind of off the radar in a way where, like, maybe they don't give a shit anymore. I don't know. My name is Rose. I'm a disabled transsexual lesbian and freelance transfeminist author. Let's talk about racism and white supremacy culture. Recently, an article was written about Tara Knight on a website called The Needle by 2 white trans women. The article was full of racist microaggressions. I would like to point them out here. I'm going to be referencing the characteristics of white supremacy culture from Dismantling Racism, a workbook for social change groups. Here's the quotes from the article. It is not impossible for the FBI to do what it claimed, and it is still what has been claimed, and it is still irresponsible to spread panic about among marginalized people through rumors without evidence. I agree with that statement. It is irresponsible to spread panic among marginalized people through rumors without evidence. Our communities don't need to be worked into a frenzy by uncritical sharing of baseless and or false claims. We have enough real threats to worry about. Literally, that's fucking true. So she's responding to this saying, the first thing I noticed was the author multiple times said Tara was irresponsible for spreading panic. The pain and fear that Tara is feeling is real, and by calling her irresponsible, we've pathologized her personhood. That's not what pathologization is, fucking moron. And assigned blame for talking about her fears. Additionally, we have projected our individualism, a principle of white supremacy culture, onto her by assuming her experience is isolated and her fears are not shared by other Black trans women. Obviously, we're all fucking scared. Even the white people, we're all scared. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be responsible. If the thing is actually happening, post the fucking letter. We have acted paternalistic, another principle of white supremacy, by assuming that we know what's best for a marginalized community when we are not a part of all the marginalized communities Tara is a part of. Okay, well, like maybe consider that you're impacting more people than just Black trans women, like that there are other groups that you are harming by just fear-mongering. We do not have a right to comfort. Oh my fucking God. Why are white people so stupid? Tara's fears, lived experiences, and persecution is not less important than our right to not feel alarmed. No, like, feeling alarmed when a thing is actually happening is proportional. We do have a right, we do have, like, I think a reasonable justification to feel pissed off if someone is being alarmist for no fucking reason. Stream crash? Oops, sorry. It didn't, the stream rate dropped for a minute. Okay, I apologize. Anyway, sorry if you missed anything. I'm not going to go back over this. We have engaged in tone policing by calling a Black woman irresponsible for talking about her experiences a certain way. Calling black women irresponsible has a long and racist history that dates back to slavery. Framing black women as irresponsible allowed white people to justify constant policing and supervision, leading into eugenics in the 20th century through the myth of maternal irresponsibility, and we see it today in the stereotype of the welfare queen. I have nothing to say that isn't violently ableist. One person with a large following who has publicly posted about receiving one of these alleged letters is Tara Knight. Knight is a self-declared trans feminist and author and a public figure with 42,000 followers. The second thing I noticed was the way these self-declared journalists introduced Tara. Tara is a published author with an exceedingly large body of work and a woman who has been creating content about trans feminism for many years. By calling her a, quote, self-declared trans feminist, we engage in epistemic racism by denying her authority. Oh my fucking God. Whose dick are you sucking right now? Rose, like legitimately, whose dick are you sucking right now? Black women's knowledge has historically been treated as anecdotal and unverified, while for white women like us, our legitimacy is assumed. Nobody asks us who certified us or where our credentials came from. I mean, okay, like, I feel like you're just being a bitch right now. Like, I don't know how else to describe this. So anyway, like, this is the extent to which Tara has engaged with this publicly, is by reposting someone else's post that makes a bunch of stupid fucking claims about an article that's asking for a basic level of evidence. I'm not going to go through all this because that's so fucking stupid. Anyway, so it's just really suspicious that, like, you're not posting the fucking letter. If you're so scared, and if other people should be scared, like, protect other black trans women by confirming for them that they need to be careful. Like, if other people need to start being careful about what they post online, then give them the evidence that they need to be careful. I have nothing fucking good to say about this situation. I've just gotten angrier the more I've talked about it today. Some people are irresponsible is the problem. Legitimately, if you're posting fake shit, if you're like, the FBI sent me a letter and it's fake, that is irresponsible. And it's not racist to say it just because you are black and doing the thing that's irresponsible. Someone says you don't want to start with someone really big, test the waters. I mean, I guess the idea could be like focusing on someone who doesn't have any money. But also, why would you start with only one person? Why didn't 5 people all get these letters all at once? Why didn't 20 people? Because they're, Jesus Christ, because we have a problem with keeping regular jobs. I think that there is like a dramatic oversaturation of trans content creators. Obviously, that's a complaint that I would have because I've been around for a million fucking years doing this. And it feels annoying to be competing with people who have only been out for like a year or two and are like centering all of their like social media on representing the trans community. Like, yeah, of course it's fucking annoying. But what I'm saying is that there are a million billion trans creators, and so there should be several people who've gotten these letters all at once. But again, we have no proof. And I apologize for initially taking up this news without corroborating it and without doing further due diligence when we initially talked about this a week or two ago. I wanted to believe her. I want to believe that when someone makes a huge claim, like the FBI is targeting me and calling me a terrorist and demanding that I cease and desist and demanding that I delete my shit, I want to believe that that person is not fucking lying. I want to believe that that person is not a grifter. But that is seemingly what has happened here. Like, I don't know what else to say besides this person has irresponsibly stressed out a bunch of people who did not need to be stressed out like that right now so that she could make more money. Like, that's what you're doing. You are boosting your social media cred and making more money. They'd go after dead domain before ContraPoints. Oh, true. Yeah, no, dead domain is definitely way more controversial than ContraPoints at this point in the world. Like, yeah. Get yourself a Team Lux mug at lionmerch.com. It's not my merch, technically. So anytime you buy this, it profit shares with the other creators, but you still want to represent. To be frank, the FBI has a track record of investigating anyone. My grandpa got investigated because they didn't believe he was doing public speaking workshops and thought he was trying to steal US secrets back in the 70s. Sure, like, I don't doubt that many of us are being surveilled. The Department of Homeland Security changed its definition of like who, like, under the rules, you cannot surveil someone just because they're Muslim. Because that's like targeting someone on the basis of their religion. If someone is Muslim and has an affiliation with a known terrorist, then you can surveil them, right? But not just because they're Muslim. But they did remove the parts within the past year. They removed the parts that say you can't surveil someone just because of their gender identity or sexual orientation. So if you're gay or trans, the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security, or I guess any of them, they can surveil you and your private communications. So I just, like, I don't doubt that all of us are being surveilled, or that many of us are being surveilled. I think that if you're trans or queer in any way, then you should be really careful about what you post. And if you're a family member of somebody trans or queer, you should also be really, careful with what you post, or even what you say privately, even in channels that you believe are encrypted or private. Like, I think that you should be, and I don't doubt that the FBI is investigating people who are not terrorists, and that they're going to potentially start like going after people. Like, I don't doubt that any of those things are happening. That's why I was willing to believe this claim. I was willing to believe this claim because I wouldn't put it past the FBI to start accusing trans people of being terrorists and demanding that we take our content down. All of us are afraid of that happening because we all know that it could happen. We don't want to get assassinated. Like, we don't want to have our livelihoods ripped away from us. We don't want to end up homeless because we can't support ourselves, because again, a lot of fucking trans people make our money by being public figures. Yeah, no Fed posting anywhere. Exactly, banana brains. So yeah, I think that this is like, if this is not true, if this is a claim that she made without confirming that it was the case, if this is a claim that she made and she hasn't posted the evidence, this is reckless behavior. I feel like the FBI would simply take content down themselves. Yeah, like, why are you getting a warning? Why are you getting a warning rather than them just like arresting you? Or I don't know. Like, if Tara said, I went back to Canada, I don't know why she goes back and forth to Canada. I think she might be Canadian. I'm not totally sure. If Tara was like, on my way back into the US because I have surgery coming up, or my girlfriend has surgery. I think her girlfriend just had bottom surgery, maybe. If she was like, I was questioned on my way into the United States about my trans activism, I would believe her. Because that happened to Hassan Piker. It's happened to people who are entering the US. They're being questioned about their social media, all that kind of shit. I would believe it. But this claim doesn't have any evidence, and it just scared a bunch of people and made her money. Like, just looking at the objective, like what has actually occurred, to my knowledge, no other creators have received this kind of communication. Or none of them have said that they're receiving this kind of communication. The FBI hasn't even said anything recent about it. Like, they haven't made it ever since like Pam Bondi said that they were going to start labeling radical gender ideology as a form of terrorism. Like, we haven't really seen any movement on any of that. Like, no commentary about it. No, we're going after these people. And you know that they fucking will say so when they start going after these people. They'll take credit for it because they want credit for it. So all that has actually happened is her following on Instagram doubled. She probably got a bunch more subscriptions on Substack, and a bunch of people are scared now. Quantum says, just like the very rare false grape allegations, this victimizes her own community by making serious situations, when it does happen, open to plausible deniability. Yeah. And I agree, Chapek, it would be easy to lie and say that she had been questioned into the border. But if you are saying you were sent a letter by the FBI, then we all know that there's a physical piece of evidence. And so the burden of proof is a little bit higher. So if this is a grift, it's also a stupid grift. Snowden's work pretty much showed that they watch all of us. Yeah, of course. Like, there's the Patriot Act and all that shit. We don't functionally have privacy in this country. So, like, just assume there are entire subjects that I don't talk about because I just assume, like, you know? Apparently, Matthew and Paul did something similar with claiming their books were getting banned when actually they have a really high minimal buy limit. I think that they did find that there was one particular woman who was stymieing their attempts to get in, or was like misleading them or something. I don't know. It's hard, again, with the like he said, she said thing. I thought that I saw Matthew and Paul posting like screenshots of stuff and trying to provide evidence of conversations and things. But yes, we do have to question everybody, even me, guys. And like I want you to be aware and skeptical of even me. If I claim that some shit happens, I should provide proof. This is part of why I don't do shit. It's like, I don't want to end up in a situation where Matthew and Paul, like the Bible writers, no, like there's a blind guy named Paul and he's gay and his husband is Matthew and Matthew pranks him all the time. Consensually, Paul was like, hey, if you prank me, that makes me feel normal. So they post videos of pranks most of the time, and they post videos of like the guide dog, Mr. Maple, who lives with them. And Paul is an artist. He's blind, but he still has a teeny tiny bit of vision right in the center. So he can, like, on a digital tablet, he can like make it bigger and still draw in the very limited amount of vision that he has. So he's created like some children's books, some inclusive children's books. And there was a claim that they were given the runaround by a publishing company and they were denied the ability to put their books in that publishing company's fucking whatever. I don't fucking know. My platonic partner and I both give asides to the FBI when we're talking on the phone. Like, yeah, sorry, FBI agent, you have to see my tits today. Like, I sometimes wonder if the erosion of faith in institutions and people is to break people down to the point of joining or at least accepting their death cult. Yeah, well, I do think that, I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but I do think that the proliferation of AI and like the fact that the ruling class is so interested in removing regulations and like pumping more money into AI is so that we can have this situation that we're in right now, where people see multiple different angles of what happened to Renee Good, and they go, I don't trust that video. Instead, I trust the claim with no video fucking evidence that the guy was hit by the car and he flew 5 feet in the air and he has internal bleeding and he went to the hospital afterwards, instead of being able to trust like the fucking cell phone footage from his own hand where he calmly shot a woman in the face and called her a fucking bitch. Like, I think that it's maybe not necessarily, I guess if you're trying to say that that is the death cult, maybe that is what's going on. Like, the willingness to accept brutality from our federal government and our local governments. Like, to be like, I was talking to my sister about this earlier, you know, all of this with Renee Good, like, obviously this is an escalation, but I have been watching for years as Black people have been killed in the streets. There was one, I think it might be Orange County in California, but one county in California, notoriously, police tase people to death in the street. Like, it's a huge deal. Like, it's a huge thing. So it's not like this is new per se, but it's being directed at a broader audience, like directed at like more protesters. But again, in the George Floyd protests in 2020, I watched literally fucking hundreds of videos of police instigating violence against peaceful protesters. They were police riots. And like now we're having police riots, except that it's a federal agency. So it's not like any of this is new. It is like ramping up currently in that way that like it like ramps up and dies back down and ramps up and dies back down. And I think a lot of people are pissed off right now, but I don't know, dude, it's fucked up. I have no idea what you're talking about. Streamers famously are never wrong. I try to acknowledge when I'm wrong. You know, like recently in a video, I made a claim that we've been doing puberty blockers for trans kids since the 70s. And someone called me on it and I double checked. It was the 90s, not the 70s. I got something jumbled in my brain and I misspoke. Okay, I'll correct myself. We've been using puberty blockers for trans children since the 90s. So for 30 years, we've had plenty of time for it to come out that this is causing major harm or whatever. And like, it's so fucking frustrating because I'm talking to people who are looking at evidence that COVID makes your brain melt out your ears and they're going, no. So it's like, you don't care about the fucking evidence anyway. Oh my God. It's so frustrating. People don't give a shit. That's what it's so frustrating about this. Someone said earlier, no, C-Lux, your insistence on providing proof for your claims is white supremacy. You need to work on that. Yeah, like my being a skeptic is white supremacy, I guess. Like expecting there to be a basic level of proof or evidence or even like a good reason to believe you. Like, why should I believe you? Tara Knight's entire thing, the Black trans woman at the center of this whole FBI letters thing, like we are supposed to give her credibility because of her identity. That's literally fucking identity politics. Like that her credibility is predicated on because she's a Black trans woman. Like, I'm sorry, but no, you are just as likely to be a lying grifter as anybody else. I don't care about your identity labels. I know you were being sarcastic. I was jumping on it because I know that you were being sarcastic. Like, but that is what people are doing. People are saying like, your desire for her to fucking provide proof of a very serious thing that if it's really happening, we really need to know for sure that it's happening, is white supremacist. Like the expectation. And again, the fact that she characterized herself in her own DMs as a little girl, a young girl, I think young girl. Like, no, you're not a young girl. You're in your 20s. That is so disingenuous to claim like, oh, I'm infantilizing myself to avoid accountability. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. Why do you suck so fucking much is a question that I have. Hi, Jazz Dog. I'm ranting today. We're all capable of making mistakes. We all get things wrong sometimes, and most of us want to know so that we can stop being wrong. Exactly, Ember. Oh my God. Like, I feel bad when I'm wrong about things because I have an audience. And it's been multiple times where I believed something and I've had to Google it and walk it back and be like, okay, you know what? In front of all of you, in front of God and everybody, in front of God and all fucking 100 of you or however many of you are here at a given time, I have to say, oh, I was wrong about that. I used to think that if you ate gelatin, the gelatin like doesn't get digested. Your body just sees, oh, that's gelatin and puts it where gelatin is supposed to go, like in your kneecaps. That's not true. It gets digested into energy like anything else. And if your body is bad at building collagen or gelatin or whatever, then it just doesn't. Like, okay, I had to walk that back. I also claimed at one point that having a cat specifically reduces stress and lengthens your lifespan. But actually it's just having a pet in general, or like maybe it's like the pets that will cuddle with you, but like having a pet and not having a cat specifically. So I've had to walk that back and rephrase and like change my opinion and stop publicly being wrong. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is the right thing to do. And I guess like what she's claiming now is like, I was tricked into thinking that this letter was real. Like, okay, if this is the letter, then again, I think you need glasses. I don't know what the fuck you thought was going on. Excuse me. I don't need this alarm on right now. Oh my god, excuse me. Being able to walk it back makes you a good person. I don't necessarily want to accept that framing. I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's just like basic diligence, in my opinion. I don't think I'm like morally superior to other people because I'm a skeptic. And that's like one of my foundational, like it's underneath everything. Guys, I want you to understand, skeptic is underneath every fucking principle that I have. If it were true that like 98% of people fully recover from a COVID infection and never have to worry about it, and you can just get vaccinated and catch COVID 3 times a year and it's not going to hurt you in any way, shape, or form, I would believe that. But unfortunately, that's not the fucking case. Unfortunately, every single COVID infection that you have likely is damaging your organs and your immune system, no matter how mild the infection was. That's the fucking truth. Like, I want you to understand this too. If the data showed that letting trans kids transition was actually terrible for them, I would have to be against it. Like, that's my principle. I can't just like believe shit that's not true. I'm not fucking capable of doing it. And like, I know that there are people who are like, I will ignore information and I will simply not seek out information because it counteracts my opinion. But like, I check. Sometimes I go to Google and I go like, high regret rate for detransition. Not very often, because I feel like I've done it enough fucking times by now, but like, if there was legitimate evidence, I would have no choice but to change my mind. I would have no choice but to say, hey, let's be more cautious around this, or whatever. But it seems like, in fact, not enough people get that care when they need it. More people regret going through puberty that they didn't want, as opposed to people regretting getting access to the care at an early age. So, like, I don't think a lot of people have those same principles. Like, so many people call us on the line and they're like, oh my God, all this data says that it hurts trans kids or it hurts kids who identify as trans. And then I go, okay, well, do you have good evidence? And they're like, the fucking CAS review. And I'm like, oh, you mean the CAS review that the fucking British Medical Association denounced and like every other European country has denounced? Like, and fucking Australia denounced it? Other people don't care. I am a slave to the truth and it's fucking exhausting sometimes. I appreciate hearing a public figure speak truth about COVID. Yeah, it's like it's my least popular opinion that I think you should wear an N95 or KN95 or a P100 everywhere you go, including just outside. It's highly infectious. It's gonna kill you. Like, it's my least popular opinion because it requires the most change from people on an individual and infrastructural level. I like the blue tone you did with the room. Thank you. I try to change it up every once in a while. I think I need better lights because these lights, I don't know if you can see it flickering in the refresh rate, but you can see it right there, kind of like flickering because the light refresh rate is less than the 60 frames that I'm doing the stream on. So I might need to get new lights at some point. But yeah, some of them show it worse than others. I think the red light shows it pretty badly too, so I don't know which. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother me. Whatever. I never stopped masking. Yeah. What's interesting is that as everyone else has gotten more relaxed about COVID, I have gotten more militant about COVID because everything that I learn, like I used to, like even like during, I think it was late in 2020, I went to a restaurant with my partner and my sister. She wanted to go. We went ahead and went with her. And I would never fucking eat inside at a restaurant now. Like maybe if I could reserve a private room and it was reserved for like multiple hours beforehand, but even then I'm still being served by someone. Like yeah, I will never be able to unsee that flickering now. Yeah, sorry. It's like I said, the lights are just not super high quality LEDs. Most of these people aren't seeking out any info at all. They just watch their entertaining talking heads and get all their views from that. At best, they refer to evidence they haven't read, but their favorite creator claims to have read. True. Get one of those star projectors and make the room look magical. Yeah, maybe. I do love those, like, they look like aurora or galaxy colors. Those are cool. If another pandemic happened today, I think the death toll would be multiplied by 10. Well, you don't really need to wait much longer because the bird flu is just like the more times that people catch bird flu when they already have the regular flu, which is more and more common with the regular flu being as widespread as it is, but they're going to do a little DNA exchange and then it's going to be human to human transmissible. And so we're going to find out probably in the next couple of years. So look forward to that. I like the lights that project a water pattern. Ooh, that would be cool. Like, I really love, you know, when you're looking at the bottom of the pool and you can see all those cool, like, things that are happening at the bottom of the pool. Those are really pretty. Cosmos projectors. I think I have one of those around here somewhere. Yeah, I'm also just, like, not trying to spend a lot of money on my business because I am starting to shell out a huge amount of money for insurance every month and therapy coming soon and my kid in college. And yeah, so like I'm making so much more money, but it's like I'm immediately spending all of it. So if I don't technically need new background lights, then I will not buy them. Maybe I'll put them on my wish list and somebody else can buy them for me. I don't know. Drop your recommendations in the comments. I'll add something to my wish list. I have a camera on my wish list right now. But, you know. The cast review is a government white paper. Is that some term that I'm not familiar with in Commonwealth countries? I think there was a case to be made that going overboard on COVID has destroyed a lot of the societal trust we'd have wanted to deal with a much worse pandemic. I mean, again, so I take issue with that because everything I've learned since 2020 about COVID makes me even more militant about COVID. Like, we didn't go overboard. In fact, we didn't do enough. Like 100,000 Americans die every year directly from COVID, and I don't even think that we're counting the increased number of cardiovascular deaths in that. And like the increased cardiovascular deaths are caused directly by COVID. Like, I don't know exactly how those numbers are being quantified, but the ones that we are counting as related to COVID, like 100,000 Americans dying per year, the global average life expectancy has dropped. Like, people are developing dementia at like ridiculously young ages. Like, everything about it is horrifying. The more you learn about it, the more you're like, oh fuck, I need to do everything I can to not catch this thing. Thank God I have health insurance and was able to get vaccinated because I hadn't been vaccinated since like 2024. What if you streamed in the dark but had glow-in-the-dark face paint? Wow. Fascinating concept. Just do like a deep in the night stream. White paper means the government puts together a paper with all the experts they wanted to reach the conclusion they want, which is very common in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Okay, so I'll try to keep that in mind. If I'm ever talking to a caller from the UK who's bringing up the cast review, like, oh, so you're just on board with a white paper review? What did you say? It's a government white paper. Because yeah, it is. You're correct. It is a politically motivated thing. people keep citing like, oh, the government has decided to restrict it in XYZ country. Like, okay, so you're citing a political decision and not a medical consensus. Cool. Do you want to see a Jazz Dog work in progress? Sure. Let's see a Jazz Dog work in progress. Shout out to Jazz Dog, whose music I play at the beginning of every stream. Ember says, a white paper is a statement of a plan to create policy as opposed to a green paper, which is asking for public input. Okay. Cool. Halloween stream. We've still got a few months before that. Female genital mutilation is also legal in some countries. Legality doesn't define morality. I'm really looking forward to... I'm going to start hammering in every single time a caller calls in and says that they don't support children getting access to gender-affirming care. I'm going to just start beating people over the head with the concept of circumcision. Like, oh, only one of us supports mutilating baby genitals, and it's fucking you, not me. Sorry. Okay, we're gonna listen to a Jazz Dog. Let's do it. Pull it to the beginning here. That was fun. Thank you for a little break from my fucking rant. Thank you very much, Jazz Dog. Laws equaling morality is literally the same as might makes right. Hot take. I can see that. Yeah, like the people who are the most powerful who declare the rules, like that is equivalent to morality. Like, yeah, no, girl. The guitar took forever to get right, but it was worth it. I need to play my guitar at least like a few minutes every day to start working my calluses back up. She sits right there, and I haven't played her in forever. Haven't touched it in a while. Yes, thank you for sharing. I appreciate your musical talent, Jazz Dog. Medical consensus doesn't really mean spit. They advertised cigarettes, chemical imbalances, OxyContin. It's a long list. Well, so we had this conversation. Well, not me. I was producing. But someone called in to bitch at Forrest about how science is bad. And they cited a bunch of shit that has been done immorally in the name of science. And we agreed. Yes, there are like bad things that have been done in the name of science. They have like there have been experiments done on people non-consensually, blah, 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 blah. But also, like, the process is getting honed over time, and, like, oh my god, I'm having a hard time phrasing this for some reason. We have continued to improve the process. We've continued to improve the ethics requirements, and we've increased the threshold for, acceptable levels of evidence and stuff. So, like, yeah, scientists have done fucked up things in the past. And also, because those fucked up things happened, we have increased our ethical standards. And so to say, like, a medical consensus doesn't really mean anything because in the past, and medicine is a scientific process, because in the past there have been ethical violations or questionable moral decisions. Like, we are still honing that, and we have people like, it's a huge part of the training that you get as a biologist or as a scientist, a huge part of the training, and Forrest said that basically every year he has to redo ethics trainings. So, like, I don't think it's fair to say, well, because in the past medical consensus has done things like lobotomize women, that therefore that means that medical consensus doesn't mean anything, especially because some of the biggest changes have been getting more women in medicine. So, like, yeah, of course, we used to lobotomize women because all the fucking doctors were men. But we're improving it constantly. So the current medical consensus, and the thing too is, like, I don't necessarily just rely on medical consensus. It's like, what are the standards of each of these organizations and who funded the research? I am able to identify all of those things and go, okay, so the Cass review is bunk science because they discounted a lot of evidence that would have contradicted the claim, that, like, the central claim that they were trying to get to in the Cass review. I know that Hillary Cass herself has relationships with transphobic people. They basically they basically operated the Cass review as though any pro-trans thing had an inherent bias that made it to where it couldn't be included, but that the anti-trans sources of information were fine to include, and that isn't a kind of bias that would disqualify the information from being included. So, like, I can evaluate all of those things and come to a determination that even though they were able to find, like, several doctors to agree with them or several studies that agreed with them, I still know that that was a biased and crafted, politically motivated thing and not the same as a broader medical consensus. Oh, where's my chat? Come back, chat. Oh, by the way, I haven't solicited any donations. I don't think we've gotten any donations today. The plan was to open the treasure chest, but my voice is dying very quickly, and I'm probably going to have to swing out of here so that I can get some things done before I have to go produce at 4:30. But if anybody wants to donate, I'll take $5. The goal is to get to 100. We're probably not going to get there, but, you know, if you got $5, pitch it my way. Thank you. I need to drink more water. Oh my fucking God. I've had a lot to do with mental health in my life, so this is a huge issue for me. I hate doctors even more than coppers. I've yet to be told by a doctor that there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the scientific process is that it's necessarily ongoing. I don't think that there is going to be any such thing as, like, an end point where science no longer, like, science has come to all the correct answers, and like, science has all the correct answers and there's nothing new for us to learn and there's no improvements to be made. Like, I think that's kind of part of the process is like, there always is going to be more to find out. So, like, currently, maybe the inherent belief isn't that there is a chemical imbalance, but that taking certain chemicals can improve the baseline functioning of a person. And, like, there is like a mixed amount of evidence on what things help certain people, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's really hard to study the brain also. Like, we're going to be completely honest, like, you need your brain to work in order to live. So it's, like, hard to measure the chemical imbalance potential issue in your brain. There are some things that do seem to be chemically dependent, like ADHD does seem to have something to do with a direct dopamine dysfunction. But do I believe that serotonin dysfunction is inherent to people with depression? Like, no, I don't even think depression is something that we should pathologize in that way. I think that it's probably, like, a reasonable and proportional reaction to a fucked up situation. Thank you, Turtle Birthday. I'm doing my part. Thank you for the $5 dono. Let me put that on here. Again, we're probably not going to hit the goal, and that's fine. I'm just going to put it over here anyway, because I like to see number go up. We like to see the number go up. I've said some inflammatory things today. Just reflecting on the fact that I called a bunch of people stupid and I called a bunch of people grifters and liars. And, you know, it's been a fun day. It's been a fun day. That's interesting, Luxander. My voice faded yesterday. I think at least in part I'm having an allergic reaction to tree pollen. Yeah, I think that I either have allergies or maybe I have mast cell dysfunction. And also, I was on the phone with my sister for an hour and a half before the stream started. So I did kind of like... And I usually take a break midway through the stream, and I haven't taken a break today. Thank you, Silver Twilight. Thanks for the chill chat. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Just so y'all know, and I could deactivate super chats. I don't deactivate super chats because some people just don't care about this very much. But so they'll still donate through super chats, and that's fine. But I don't actually get that money until like next month. And also, YouTube takes like 30% of your money. So if you want, you can donate directly on my website, luxander.net/donate or luxander.net/subscribe. Those are options where the only things that get off of it are PayPal fees, and then it gets directly into my bank like within a couple days. So thank you so much for the super chats. Just keeping you aware of how this works. Unnamed Bird says, you can make the same argument for basically anything, but the thing that sets science and medicine apart is being better than most other processes at actually improving on the consensus. Sure, yeah. Like, there is, in name, if not always in practice, there is a fundamental value of academic honesty within science and medicine. So not everybody always gets it right. And sometimes people become doctors and nurses because they want to have power over other people's lives, and that's fucked up. Some nurses are just as bad as the cops they're married to. But yeah, it's like, at least it's a principle that many people in the field subscribe to, that we want to reduce harm and, you know, improve positive outcomes and follow the truth wherever it leads, even if it means that we were wrong about something. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it is at least better. Chapek says, I do think some humility is warranted, though. Eugenics used to be cutting-edge medical science. Opposition largely came from anti-evolution fundamentalists. Yet we call all such people idiots now. Sure, and I'm not trying to say that there is no dark past, right? Like, there have been experiments done on people of color. To this day, medicine will readily offer, sterilization to black and brown women when they will do everything they can to deny a white woman a hysterectomy. Like, I understand that even today, like, people in medicine are still taught sometimes that black people don't have as much pain as white people. I understand there are still fucked up things. And also, I have a decent amount of trust that there are enough good people, and again, that the fundamental principle is there, that we are trying to improve the system. And that there will always be improvement to be made within that system. Like I said, I don't think that there is any one final, we've solved science, there is no further medical advancement needed, some new creepy weird disease is going to pop up and reset our knowledge of what we think, how we think the body works or whatever. So yeah, I'm not going to try to say it's perfect. I just also think it's better than many alternatives. Like, do I think that going to the doctor is better than going to a chiropractor? Yes. Do I think going to the doctor is better than treating your shit with, like, herbal tea? Yes. Spicy Lux is good when Spicy Lux is warranted. That's true. We love stirring the shit pot. Also, I feel, and like, maybe this is incorrect, I feel like I have a small enough audience that if I call out another trans creator and I don't actually directly involve them, I don't think that they're going to hear about it. Like, do I think Tara Knight, the black trans woman that we've been talking about today with this article, do I think that she is going to find out that I called her stupid? no, I don't think she's going to find out that I called her stupid. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I think I view myself as kind of an irrelevant content creator. Like, we have our little thing that we do here, but it's not as though people are taking me seriously in a broader sense. If that ever changes, that'll be an exciting day, and I'll have to be a lot more careful about what I say. But for now, if I think someone's a lying grifter, I'm just going to call them a lying grifter. Or I might hedge my statement and say, it really seems like you're a lying grifter. If you're not, then you're doing everything in your power to make yourself look like a lying grifter, Tara. Anyway. I'm problematic. He's the problem. No, Drea, you're trying to get me in trouble. Don't do it. Let me be irrelevant, okay? I'm content. I make a decent amount of money. I'm content. No, I don't think there's... I think everybody is going to be like, yeah, but I could be making more money. I feel like if I get to a point... There will be a certain point where I'm like, okay, I make enough money now. And then I'll just start giving it away to people, probably. Cliff says, those conclusions are... So, I mean, I think you're talking about the eugenics thing. Those conclusions are often influenced by outside or personal bias applied to the method and to what is being tested and funded. Again, analyzing incentives and power structures. Look for reasons that there might be bias. Yes. Yeah. Equip yourself with the... equip yourself with the skills to critically examine the biases. And I acknowledge, I acknowledge that I have biases. I have a pro-trans bias because I'm trans and I love trans people and I want to protect trans people. And I want what's best for trans people. So it would be in my best interest if trans healthcare was harming people to prevent that harm, right? So yeah, I try to acknowledge those biases and get to the root of them. And I also constantly question if I am too confident in my beliefs. I'm having interpersonal issues in my real life, and I think that I have a good idea of what the solutions should be because I was in therapy for 4 fucking years and I follow therapists online. And still I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am the problem in this given situation. Maybe I am completely off base with what I think is the right thing to do. Maybe I am overconfident. Maybe I speak with too much authority on subjects that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I think that's healthy. I think it's healthy to have a proportional amount of skepticism of your own bullshit. So I think H Bomber Guy said it really well. I think it might have been in the vaccine video. That when he finds that a lot of people seem to be agreeing with him, he gets uncomfortable and is like, I don't know, I'm a pretty dumb guy, so maybe I need to see if there's people who disagree with me. When you notice that, oh, hey, it seems like a lot of people are agreeing with me. Why do they agree with me? What do I actually know? Why do I have this level of confidence in what I believe? And yeah, again, I just think that that's pretty abnormal. I think most people don't run that protocol, I guess. Yeah, maybe I'm just a big dum-dum. Maybe I'm overconfident. Maybe I speak with too much authority. I don't know. This is why I want to fucking talk about movies. This is why I want to fucking talk about movies. I just want to talk about dumb shit. Please just let me be an art critic. Subscribe to Musing Moss on YouTube so that I can just be an art critic and talk about dumb shit. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna pee myself if I don't leave right now. So, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me today. Sorry it was a little bit shorter of a stream. I have some shit to do this afternoon before I jump on and have my show with the line. Yet another episode with Forrest. Who's on with Forrest tonight? It's Forrest and Wait, no, that's last week. It's Forrest and Justin. Oh, I'm gonna make so much money tonight. Yes. Oh, that's very exciting. I'm gonna make so much money this week. 6-hour stream last night. Bumping Forrest and Justin stream tonight. Those make so much money. And I've got my fucking 8-hour Skeppy Talk tomorrow. Making that money. Okay, anyway. Capitalism poisons your enjoyment of every single thing you do. All right. Love you all very much. Excited to see you all on Wednesday, right? Today's Sunday, right? Oh my God, I'm fucking losing my mind. Yeah, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'm not streaming next week on Sunday because I'm needed for some production shit in the morning. But yeah, so I'll see you all on Wednesday. Well, I don't know. Wednesday is like the anniversary of me arriving here. I'll still stream. So it might be a short one, but I'll still stream on Wednesday and we'll celebrate my escape from red state, Midwest flyover country. And yeah. So see y'all later. Ha ha ha. Bye.